Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Com's Corner. I am your host, Rajcom. I am the man with the plan. I am the host with the most. And welcome to the show. We are going to kick it off today. We got all kinds of stuff we're talking. We're going to cross some lines today. We are going to go into areas that people do not want to go into because that's what we do. So let's kick it off, first of all, with a little video. And if I can get this to go properly.
Ever wondered what it's like to be part of a vibrant gaming community that celebrates the thrill of competition, the joy of collaboration, and the sheer fun of play? Welcome to a journey into the heart of Whirlwind Gaming Academy, affectionately known as WGA. At the helm of WGA are the founders, the visionaries who breathe life into this thriving gaming hub. Guiding the WGA community alongside the founders are our senior ambassadors and ambassadors. What's coming up in the WGA calendar, you ask? We host various charity events throughout the year. Prepare for the adrenaline rush of our quarterly Fortnite tournaments, a true test of skill and strategy that brings our community together. Keep the conversation flowing. Engage with fellow gamers and content creators by joining our Discord at discord.gg/WGA. Whether you're a novice seeking advice or a pro gamer looking for a challenge, we've got you covered. It's a place where you can share your gaming triumphs, discover new strategies, and make lifelong friends. We're committed to achieving great things and believe that with our members' support, we can make a significant impact. We'd like to extend an invite to you all to become an active part of the WGA community and participate in our exciting events. Join us and make the most out of your gaming experience.
And there we have it, folks, our promo video. We will have to make some updates to it extremely soon. Hello, Smitty. Welcome. Today we are going to...
Ever wondered what it's like to be part
I always
of a
do that
vibrant gaming
same thing every time. All right, so we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. We're going to go through our standard portion here. We have the new website. You can reach that by going to whirlwindgaming.com, and that will redirect you to our Google site. And this is what it would look like when you get there. It's nothing super fancy, but it definitely gets the job done. Lots of good info there. And as well, as mentioned in the promo video, going to the Discord at discord.gg/WGA would also put you in a good spot. Standard housekeeping here. Ambassadors wanted. We are looking for ambassadors. We're looking for people that pretty much fall into a certain area. Somebody who's active in the Discord. Commitment and reliability is what we're looking for. And I'm not going to get into all the blah, blah, blahs because we already did that. Hello, Drew. Welcome. Respect for others. So these are kind of key components on what we're looking for an ambassador. Team player mentality, friendliness and openness, and good sportsmanship. That's really, really important as well. So if that sounds like you, reach out to one of the WGA founders at discord.gg/WGA. And we're always around and fairly quick to answer. We'll have notifications on to see stuff in the Discord. So if you're interested, pop in. Like I said, you have to have if I go backwards here, you have to have a minimum active, and that's an actual role. It's called active in our Discord, which is not very difficult to get, to achieve. But once you have that, that's qualifier number one. And then again, if you fall into the characteristics, we're not looking for any drama, anything like that. So if you have a lot of drama attached to you, don't bring it our way. We can make our own without anybody's help. We just want to keep it a very nice and peaceful and safe place for people to go to. And so, yeah, that's looking for ambassadors. Also, if you have any questions about what they do and whatnot, you can also check out our existing ambassadors, which we've showcased in the past. Um, they are all available to check out. I want to say everybody is on Twitch at least at a minimum, outside of anywhere else they may stream or hang out. So if you got questions, pop in, check them out, talk to them. Upcoming events, and again, I failed at updating this. We are now, I can actually find this information now. I'm not completely useless anymore. I know where to go look. I just forgot to update the number. 205, I believe, is the number. I can't tell what. I think that says 205 on the top of my screen there. We can hope that's what it says. So yeah, so we're doing really awesome. And we're not even up to the Streamathon yet. Streamathon is coming up on April 20th and 21st. And we got all kinds of ambassadors, founders streaming on those 2 days. We're not doing a 24-hour thing. We are going from 10 a.m. until people pass out, apparently. So this is our schedule of who's doing what. So, come and check us out specifically on those days as well. Should be a good time. 2:15. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, Drew. I just couldn't see the number. So that's awesome. We're doing very, very well. We are on basically the halfway point, maybe just a little over the halfway point of the month. And like I said, that's without a Streamathon. So I'm looking forward to what the Streamathon will bring. Now, to get to our new news. Today's spotlight is on our newest ambassador, Modlin. And Modlin, I did a little bit of stalkering on your Twitch. So Modlin is a husband, father, brother, football coach. Video games have been part of his life as long as he can remember. And joining Twitch has allowed him to spread that same passion to people all around the world. Inclusion, involvement is what he strives for in his community. And he currently plays Apex Legends, but always dipping his toes in a little bit of everything. So, Modlin, welcome. I think you'll make a great addition to the team. Recently streamed, he played some Fortnite, some Apex, as he mentioned, and some just chatting. So now, let's get it going here. We are going to talk about some stuff that crosses, I think, a lot of people's minds and definitely can generate a lot of conversation. We don't want to get too deep in the weeds on the stream. This information that I have in these next bunch of pages comes from Wikipedia. And I will have the link to the actual article where if you want to read more about this information, you're definitely free to go check it out. There's a whole lot. And had I tried to put everything in here, it would probably be 2 weeks from now that I would probably still be doing it. So there have been a lot of debates on the social effects of video games on players and broader society, as well as debates within the video game industry. Since the early 2000s, advocates of video games have emphasized their use as an expressive medium, arguing for their protection under the laws governing freedom of speech, and also as an educational tool. Detractors argue that video games are harmful and therefore should be subject to legislative oversight and restriction. The positive and negative characteristics and effects of video games are the subject of scientific study. Academic research has examined the links between video games and addiction, aggression, violence, social development, and a variety of stereotyping and sexual morality issues. That's a mouthful. All to say that video games can be good and video games can be bad. It really depends on a bunch of stuff. Yes, new news, Smitty. I just noticed that. Um, and it's what you make of it, right? And it's what you let people get exposed to. So we're going to touch base on a few things. First of all, violence. Video games, since their inception, have been the subject of concern due to the depiction of violence that they may contain, which have heightened as the technology behind video games improve the amount of visual detail and realism of games. So, for example, the Call of Duty games really have a good reality look to them. Some of the RPGs, with the swords and whatever, that type of game, MMOs that have like a lot of reality to them, definitely gives it a big sense of realism. But we can't discount the ones that look a little cartoony as well. So you have World of Warcraft, is beautiful game, beautiful colors, and hey, let's skip through the forest holding hands, and then you're gonna slice and stab something, right? So it's definitely not just the realism, but in general, if you cannot handle what you're taking in, we don't know what's going to happen inside your head, right? So we have to watch that. The portrayal of gender. Some scholars have expressed the concern that video games may have the effect of reinforcing sexist stereotypes. And this is like for a totally accurate picture of what character creation looks like in most games. Your man's always like the macho, tough guy man, and the female is like a supermodel body. Some games actually change that up a bit and, allow you to create characters with bigger guts. But there's never a lack of creating a female character with bigger boobs, right? So that's definitely something that is out there. It's for real. And how that makes people feel, right? That's not for me to decide, but people look at that and have their ideology in regards to, oh, this is what the perfect person should look like. And when they make their characters, and I mean, I won't lie, when I play MMOs and stuff, I 99% of the time make a female character, and I won't lie, I make them as hot as I can. And that's just how I roll, right? Is that right? Well, I'm an adult, so I make my own decisions, but at the same time, I am part of this, right? I won't say I encourage it, but I definitely a little choo-choo train and following the tracks in regards to how some of this stuff goes down. Sexual themes. So tolerance to sexual themes in video games varies between nations. Controversy over sexual themes has occurred in the U.S. For instance, in June 2005, an entire portion of unused code was found within the main script of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, allowing the player to simulate sexual intercourse with the main character's girlfriends. Yeah, pick on Grand Theft Auto because they just do it a lot, but they're not the only game out there that does that type of thing. And again, right? Who is playing these things? Who's doing this stuff? If they're adults, and okay, maybe that's okay. But if somehow kids get a hold of the game and are playing it, which, let's get real, happens, is that really how we want our youth to learn about stuff and what makes them think what's right and wrong in the world? Again, I'm not the sexual themes police. I'm just here. This is the information that's out there, and definitely there's a lot more of this information on the wiki for you to check out. Content regulation and censorship. Support for video game regulations has been linked to moral panic Even so, governments have enacted or tried to enact legislation that regulates distribution of video games through censorship based on content rating systems or banning. Um, and this happens a lot. Maybe not necessarily as much in the US and Canada, but there are a lot of other countries. Um, I'll say, give China as an example, that has a lot of control in regards to what video games they will allow in their countries. And with this world of internet, that makes it very hard to regulate. But they have their ways of doing stuff. Um, and where do you draw the line between freedom of speech, expression, whatever, versus censorship, right? So it's all a matter of who has access to. It's like cigarette smoking or alcohol. You have to be a certain age before you can do it. And that's what they're trying to do with the games. You should be a certain age before you can play a game or view a game that would have a certain rating. And if they can't rate it, then censor the whole thing. Hello, Miss Fran. Welcome, welcome. And so speaking of regulations, there's a lot of voluntary regulations. Voluntary rating system adopted by the video game industry, such as the ESRB rating system in the United States and Canada. And that's been actually established in 1994. And the Pan-European Game Information PEGI rating system in Europe, established in 2003. They're aimed at informing parents about the types of games their children are playing or asking to play. And this is a trap a lot of parents get caught into, right? You're going into the game store or whatever store, and the kid's got a game. Hey, mom, I want this game. And you look at it and say, okay, it looks all right. But look at the rating, right? It's very easy to get caught up and not noticing a rating on a game because you just think it's a game. And as a parent, it's a game. The kid wants it. Oh, look, it's not even expensive. Here you go. And then next thing you know, they're shooting people in the street, right? So rating system, it's voluntary, but I think it's what parents need to really pay attention to. Portrayal of religion in games. So while religion is seen as a serious topic, video games are considered entertainment. As such, the use of religion and religious motifs in video games can sometimes be controversial. There are so many games that will use a church or something religious in their game, and they may not mean a lot in terms of them trying to push any kind of belief, but it's still there, and a lot of people take offense to that, highly religious people. So where do you draw that line, and who's going to draw it? Again, lots of information on this on the wiki, so if this is something that interests you, you should definitely check it out. I think Wiki should pay me for people going to their site. Just saying. The portrayal of sexual orientation and gender identity. Super touchy topic. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender LGBT characters have been depicted in some video games since the 1980s, with Caper in the Castro in 1989 as one of the first games focusing on the LGBT themes. LGBT content has been subject to changing rules and regulations by game companies. These rules are generally examples of heterosexism, in that heterosexuality is normalized while homosexuality is subject to additional censorship or ridicule. Didn't even know this game existed. So anybody interested? Caper in the Castro. It's an old one, but it's the first one out there that touches on this stuff. So if that's something that interests you, you should check it out. And again, tons of information on the wiki for this stuff. I am scratching the surface and then even higher, the amount of info that's available on here. Portrayal of race, nationality, and ethnicity. Video games may influence the learning of young players about race and urban culture. The portrayal of race in some video games, such as Grand Theft Auto series, Custer's Revenge, 50 Cent Bullet and Def Jam Fight for New York has been controversial. The 2002 game Grand Theft Auto Vice City has was criticized as promoting racist hate crime. I mean, look at the picture. From left to right, the color of the skin versus what they're wearing. That to me says a lot. And that's where I personally will leave my opinion there. Just look at the picture, make up your own mind. You guys have seen a lot of these games and you know how it is. But is that giving the right message to the youth out there? Gaming addiction, gaming disorders, and other health-related concerns. So, video game addiction is the excessive or compulsive use of computer and video games that interferes with daily life. Instances have been reported in which users play compulsively, isolating themselves from family and friends or from other forms of social contact and focus mostly entirely on in-game achievements rather than broader life events. If I let my kids play video games whenever they want, they would do nothing else. And as a parent, we definitely control that to avoid this type of situation. When I was younger, I don't think I would want to move from the computer. And I mean, younger, I was an adult and I was still playing. I'll go back to the first MMO I ever played, EverQuest, where I played with my friends nonstop, and I would blow a shift at work so I could hang out with my friends and play EverQuest, right? It's insane. It doesn't make sense. But when you're hooked on something, right, it's an addiction, it makes it very difficult. And if you're an addictive personality, if you like to drink, if you like to smoke, you like to play video games. So I never drank, or not really, but I used to smoke and play video games nonstop. I mean, the cigarettes would just keep burning as I'm playing. Like, it was crazy. So, I mean, this impacts young people and old people alike. I've definitely seen videos that showed kids losing their crap with the parent throwing the Xbox in the pool, or the kid that's told to go eat supper and they're on the computer playing whatever, and the parent shuts off the internet or does whatever, and then they trash the room. Like, it's just insane. We think it's funny to watch, but it's actual reality. It's not just, these little clips to be funny. There is some legitimacy in that behavior. And, it's up to us to do our individual soul searching on that one. Again, I'm not going to preach to you what's right or wrong. I've been on both sides of this fence. Here's a big one: gaming culture and online harassment. And it's not even just about gaming. This is like internet in general. But a further issue that can occur through gaming is online harassment or bullying behaviors. Esports communities seem to be particularly suffering from toxic behaviors, especially in competitive esports games. Negative behaviors such as harassment can create barriers to players achieving high performance and can reduce players' enjoyment, which may cause them to leave the game. This is everywhere. I see it on the street, which is bad enough, but then when it can come into your home via the internet, via a game, that's huge, right? And we have to protect our youth against this. It happens to adults as well. Somebody could easily come into my channel right now and start calling me old man and whatever. I don't have the widest shoulders in the world, but they're wide enough to be able to handle that kind of garbage, right? But it does happen. Miss Fantastique will have people jump into her stream and make jokes that she's an old lady. Well, we all know she's an old lady, so it's okay. She knows that. She accepts that. She's still younger than I am. Me and Stu there, we're the kings of the age castle. So again, here's where we each individually have to do our due diligence in helping protect people. I know a lot of adults that get harassed. We see it quite often in our circle, our greater circle. So it's something that's serious, and needs to be something needs to be done about it. You can't just let stuff like that go by. So, like I said, for the full story on all of this, and again, there was so many more topics besides the ones I have listed here today. It's https :/ and blah blah blah, because I don't want to read the whole thing. But there it is. That's the wiki. You can probably Google it as well. For video game controversies, it'll probably come up that way. It's important stuff. And I'm glad that I have a way of bringing this to the masses through Comms Corner. So thank you for that. And thank you for watching today's episode of Comms Corner. I'm very thankful for the people that have popped in. Appreciate you.